Hey everyone, this is Tapan Sharma here and welcome to a new tutorial where we'll be building a command line tool using Laravel and Laravel Prompts. So if you go ahead and look into this command, which is artisan video edit. So this is a custom command, and if I go ahead and hit enter, then we'll get an option whether we want to process a single video or a folder containing multiple videos. If I click on folder of videos, then we will get these suggestions. So these are all the folders that are available in the default path. So this tool is basically used to process multiple videos, and behind the scenes we'll be making use of Auto Editor, which is basically used to remove blank spaces and dead spaces from any video. And this tool didn't support processing multiple videos, so I made this tool to process multiple videos inside a folder, and I thought of creating a tutorial around that because it would be helpful to you as well if you are starting out building projects like these, and this would also trigger you to automate some repetitive tasks for your own personal works. And this project is something that I've been using for my own purpose as well. So yeah, we'll be working on this command line tool, and I hope that you learn some new stuff along the way. So in the next part, we'll start by installing Laravel and look into the command line tool. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, so in this video, we'll start by installing a fresh Laravel app, and I also want to give you an overview about the CLI tool that we'll be working on. So first, let's go ahead and look into the tool that we are working on. So this is the tool called Auto Editor. So what this does is this will basically cut out the dead spaces or the silent areas from a video. So on the command line, we can pass in Auto Editor and the path to the video. So yeah, you can go ahead and look into the docs if you really want to implement this. Now we need Python and pip to install this. So we can just call pip installed Auto Editor, and there are a lot of options that we can pass to this. For cutting the video, we can pass in Auto Editor example.mp4 and then set a margin of 0.2 seconds or any margin that you want to set as per your needs. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and you can even export the file for Premiere or other editors. As you can see in here, I use a editor called Shortcut. So it's, yeah, we can even define that path for the shortcut as well. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here, but we'll be making this really simple. So if we go ahead and look into my command line, then as you can see in here, I'm getting an auto suggestion of Auto Editor and then a path to my video, and then I'm passing in this no open option because by default this will try to open this video in VLC or any other media player that you have in your OS. So yeah, this no open will basically prevent opening this in a video player. So yeah, this is the simple command that we'll be passing in, and you can even go ahead and customize your command later. Once we start working on this tool, then you'll know how to pass in extra options as well. But for this case, we'll pass in this simple command. So yeah, this is the general flow, and let's now go ahead and define a new project. So composer create project, and I'm going to name it Laravel CLI tool. Let's go ahead and hit enter, and let's also go ahead and define a new database. So I'll create a new database called Laravel CLI tool. I'll copy that, and okay, maybe we need to fix the spelling. I'll copy that name and create the database. Let's now go ahead and check out our terminal. So the app is installed. Let's cd into that and open this in our code editor. Okay, let's open up the env, and later we'll be working on queues and all the other stuff. So yeah, we'll update these accordingly, but let's work on this database first. Laravel CLI tool, and we'll fix this queue later. Everything else looks good in here. So let's go ahead and run the migrations. PHP artisan migrate, and this should run the migrations. Okay, so that's the general configuration for our application. And in the next part, we'll start by defining the command that will basically interact with the user and then grab the inputs for the video and all the other stuff. So yeah, we'll be working on that in the next video. Okay, so let's start by defining a command that will basically dispatch the jobs, and with the help of Laravel prompts, we'll make that interactive and ask the user to either enter a single video path or a folder. So I will be making that interactive with the help of Laravel prompts. So let's start by defining the command, and we can define that by calling artisan make command, and I'm going to name it edit video. So this edit video command will be created inside app commands and then edit video. So let's go ahead and look into that file now. And here by default, this tries to guess the command, as you can see in here, app edit video, but we'll make the necessary updates in here. Instead of defining this app edit video, what I want to do is I want video edit, and the description, we can go ahead and update the description. So I'll just go ahead and paste the description here because I don't want to type it from scratch. So I want to give it a description of edit the video with auto editor, handle single video and multiple videos by passing a folder path. And for now, what we will do is, yeah, in the next part, we'll be working on handling a single video, and even that would take a lot of time. So we'll gradually work on adding new features accordingly. So now let's go ahead and run this command. So what I want to do here is I want to echo something. Let's see, editing video. Okay, let's go ahead and test this out now. Artisan video edit, and now as you can see, we get that text outputted. So this thing is now registered automatically, so we don't have to do anything about registering this command in our kernel.php. That is done automatically for us. And one more thing that I want to do in this video itself is define a config for the default path to our videos. So if we go ahead and look into my default path, then this is located inside home, snap, and then OBS studio. So all the videos that are recorded by OBS studios are placed inside this folder. So I want to give it a default path to this folder, and based on this path, we'll later add suggestions for these folders and these videos as well. So yeah, we will be working on this. So let's go ahead and define a default path. So on my env, I will go ahead and define a new variable in here. So here what we'll do is I will define a default path to this, and the path here is home, top and snap, and then OBS studio. You can go ahead and define this path based on your needs, or you can grab that from the user. That's all up to you. But in my case, I have this default path where all the videos are stored automatically. There's no any other folder where these videos are stored. So that's the reason I'm defining a default path, which is constant and won't change in any case. So yeah, let's go ahead and define this default path in our config as well. So on my config, what I will do is I'll define a new file called auto editor. Okay, let's name this thing properly, auto editor.php. Let's define that PHP file, and this should return an array. Here, let's grab the video path from our env environment video path, and the default is going to be, I'll grab it from this env itself. In case the user forgets to pass this in the env, then we'll grab it from here. So yeah, this is going to be the default path for our videos. And the reason why we're defining this in a config is because the environment file will be cached, because once we catch the files, then the config files will be cached accordingly. Because once we run the catch in our application, then these variables will be cached accordingly. So that's the reason we need to define this config in here and grab it from this path accordingly. Okay, let's save this, and in the next part we'll start working on processing a single video. So yeah, we'll work on that in the next video. Okay, so let's start working on this command that we have defined in the previous videos. So what I want to do here is I want to define two variables called, so one is called the single video, since we want to deal with single videos as well. Single video is going to be a label of single video and a folder of videos. And with the help of Laravel prompt, we'll ask the user whether they want to edit a single video or a folder containing multiple videos. So let's go ahead and look into that. So first what we need to do is let's import that select method, and we can do that by calling use function and then Laravel prompts. As you can see here, we have these functions defined in here. So we will need okay, this should be backward slash Laravel prompts and then select. Okay, that's done. And now what we can do is we can ask the user which option they want to choose between these two. And for that, what we will do is we'll define a new type and then pass in the select method. And this expects a parameter called label and the options that we want to pass. So in this case, this should be folder of videos. And yeah, this should basically ask the user whether they want to edit a single videos or a folder containing multiple videos. Okay, maybe we should, or folder containing multiple videos. That sounds better. And let's go ahead and delete this type that we get from here. Let's now go ahead and run that artisan video edit. And now as you can see, we get this prompt to select an option between single video and a folder of videos. And since we are deleting that, we will get the value that the user selects. So yeah, this thing is now working fine. And what do you want to do next? Once the user selects an option, then based on the option selected, we want to further perform the operation. So for now, we are going to deal with this single video option, and later we'll add this folder of videos option. So let's go ahead and define a label, and later we'll add more conditions in here. But first, what I want to do is we are assuming that the user is going to select that single video option for now, since we are building it, so we can test this out. And the label is going to be enter the path to the single video, and we'll basically ask the user to input the path to the video. And along with select, we have other options as well. So one of them is the other one is a suggest function, where the user can basically input any value or select a value from a list of suggestions. So we'll be doing that. So what we can do is we can basically suggest the user. Okay, let's see. We have the label, and okay, we need to import this suggest from, okay, let's import that properly. Select and suggest, and okay, let's remove that, and I'll again type that method. And what you want to do here is, if the user selects the single video option, then we want to grab all of the videos from the default path and suggest the user the available videos that we have in our default path. So let's go ahead and look into that. How do we grab the videos from the default path? So there's one limitation with the default storage in here, because the default storage is limited to this app. If we go ahead and look into this file system.php file, then the default is the local storage, and there's a lot of disks in here. The local storage points to this storage path inside app. The public storage points to this storage path, which is inside app/public. And we have this S3, which is basically for Amazon storage. And we also have this storage link, which will basically link this public path to this storage path. So yeah, we need to define our own storage in here, which will basically point to our default path. So I'm gonna name it common, and I'll just copy this array and paste that here. and I'm gonna name it common. The driver is gonna be local. The root is gonna be the config path that we have defined. So on the auto editor.php, we have this home OBS studio path. So this is the path that this file system will point to. So let's go ahead and grab that from the config and auto editor.video path. Let's see whether we have that correct. Okay, that looks good. And now what we can do is we can grab the files from that storage. So let's do that. So I'm going to define a new variable called videos and grab the storage facade with the disk common and grab all of the files from this path. And okay, we need to import this storage, and we don't have to pass this path in here because since we already have this default path defined in here, which is inside this auto editor. We want to suggest the available videos inside this folder. So if you have any other folder, then you can go ahead and pass that path, but don't need to pass any path to this method. Let's go ahead and dd this output that we get from this videos. Let's save that and run artisan video edit. For now, we are gonna select this single video option, and as you can see, we got all of the files that we have in our OBS studio folder. So these are all the files, and we can now suggest the user these options, and based on these options they can either select any of the values or they can pass in a custom path to a video. Okay, let's go ahead and now make changes to this accordingly, because we don't want to get the folders, but I think this won't grab any folders. Okay, I'll remove that, but by default this will only get the files. And also this type is not being used right now, but later we'll be using this because we still need to implement this folder of videos option. And okay, let's go ahead and now make the suggestion to the user. Since they have selected this single video option, then we want to suggest the user with the label that we have in here. The required is true, and the option is going to be okay. Let's do one thing, maybe we can make the necessary changes later. So the options is going to be videos, and let's go ahead and dd the input that we get from the user. Let's run the artisan video edit command and single video, enter the path to the single video. If you go ahead and enter the down or up arrow, then we'll get these suggestions as you can see in here. So these are all the videos that we have available in our default path, and we are making the use of Laravel prompt to suggest these options to the user accordingly. Okay, so I also want to remove these altered videos because they are already altered, and we don't want to suggest those videos because they are already processed, and I don't want to suggest those videos, and that's really simple to implement. I'll just Control C and cancel this command. And now what I want to do here is, okay, so we got these videos and we want to remove the videos that are already processed. And by default, what this auto editor does is it will append the altered string to the videos that are altered. So we can go ahead and basically collect the videos and pass in the filter method. And to each video, what I want to do is if that ends with mkv and if it does not contains alter, only then I want to add them to the collection and finally convert them to an array, because options either accepts an array or a collection. So yeah, we can do that. So yeah, now let's go ahead and save that. And what we can also do is, okay, I think this should work, but storage disk common files will get these files and collect those files. So basically we can also do something like this. Let's see whether this will work. Collect them and directly perform the operation here. this won't make this thing so much readable, but since we have discussed that already, so this should be now understandable. Let's save that, and let's now go ahead and run this command again. Single video, and the altered video should be removed from here. So yeah, this thing is now working properly. So if I select any value from here, let's say if I select this 2023 10/8, then we get the value as an input. So yeah, this thing is now working properly. Okay, so in the next part, we'll actually implement the queuing system. So once this is selected, then we want to dispatch the job and perform the action, and yeah, define the queue. So we'll be working on that in the next video. Okay, so let's go ahead and define a edit video job that will basically process the editing of the video. So in that, we'll basically run the command to process the video, and that will be basically a queue that will run in the background. So let's define that job, make job, and I'm going to name it edit video job. That job is created successfully, and when do you want to dispatch it? So once you grab the path of the video using this input, then we'll dispatch that job. So let's call that edit video job in here and dispatch the job. Let's import that job, and not just the input, but we'll also pass the full path to the video, and we can grab that by passing in the config from the environment, which is video path. Okay, not video path, but auto editor dot video path, and then the input, and the type is not actually needed in here. We'll basically dispatch a job for every video that the user wants to process. So yeah, basically this is the flow for a single video, and later we'll implement processing multiple videos accordingly. We'll add conditions in here, and based on the conditions we'll process the videos. So this will basically dispatch the job. We're passing the full path to the video, and let's now go ahead and define the job for this. Let's sort the imports, and here we'll grab the path to the video, string path, and okay, let's also define a public path property, public string path, and here we can assign that, and on the handle we can process the video. And one more thing that I noticed here is with constructor property promotion, we don't even have to do this. We can directly pass in that public string path in here, and this would basically assign this variable accordingly. So we don't have to do that assignment anymore. And here what we want to do is we want to run the command, the auto editor command, to process this video. And before running the actual command, what I also want to talk about is the timeout property that we have in this queue. So we don't really know how much time the video will take to process, and by default any job in a queue is executed for 60 seconds, and if it takes longer than 60 seconds then it will basically abort the operation. So we need to override the default 60 seconds because videos are linear, and based on the length of the videos it will take time. So what we can do is we can override the default 60-second timeout, and we can do that by overriding this timeout variable. And for now I'm gonna give it a timeout of 900 seconds. So yeah, this is basically in seconds, and you can go ahead and check the documentation for this. It's mentioned in the docs. And now let's go ahead and process the video that we just received in here as a path. So we have the full path to the video, and we can now go ahead and run that auto editor and path to the video and pass in the no open option. So yeah, let's do that. And I'll just go ahead and paste the code for this. So we'll run this process facade, which will basically run this command as a process. And okay, let's import the process, which is eliminate support facades process. And the timeout is okay. So we are passing in this timeout in here as well. So okay, this timeout is for the process and this timeout is for the queue, so keep that in mind. There's a default time limit for a process as well, so you need to override that accordingly. So let's go ahead and define this timeout property in our config. The timeout here is gonna be 900 seconds by default, but the user can go ahead and define the timeout in the environment variable as well. And if it is not defined, then 900 seconds will be the default timeout. Okay, so let's go ahead and look into this edit video job flow now. So we have this process, we have set the timeout to 900 seconds and we want to run the auto editor and then path to the video. And in this case, it's actually the path, this path, and we don't want to open that in a video player. So that's the general flow. And this will basically process the job for our video. Okay, let's save that. And now this should be queued in the database. So what we also need to do is on our env, we need to override the queue option. So queue connection is sync in here. I want to make it database, and we need to define the, if you go ahead and look into the migrations, then we have create failed jobs table and password reset. Okay, we don't have the jobs in here, so I think it's called artisan queue table. Okay, this is going to create the migration file for the jobs table. Let's hit enter, and okay, it created this jobs table. Let's go ahead and run the migration, and now this will basically be queued. So if you go ahead and look into the workflow, then once the user selects the video, then we will dispatch this job, which will be queued in the database since we have defined the migration file and made the update in our env accordingly. And that job in turn is going to run this command with the video path that we have passed through in here. Okay, where's that? Yeah, we have passed that from here, and this workflow looks good. Let's go ahead and test this out. So okay, let's do one thing. Artisan video edit. I want to edit a single video, and the path with this is gonna be, okay, let's see what we have in here. Okay, I want to edit this 2023-927 video. Let's hit enter, and seems like the job was created. We haven't started queuing them yet. We haven't processed the videos yet. So this should be stored in the database. Let's go ahead and look into our database. We have this Laravel CLI tool. Let's look into the jobs, and okay, we have this default queue. The UUID is set. We don't have any attempts. And the job is edit video job, and the path that we pass through the job is this home open snap OBS studio and this path. Okay, let's go ahead and now queue these. So I'm gonna run artisan queue work. Let's hit enter, and okay, this failed. So let's go ahead and look into the failed jobs command. Let's see what's the error in here. Eliminate queue, call queue handle, max try is null. What was the error? Okay, we have this in here. So type error, pending process timeout, argument 1 timeout must be of type int, null given. Okay, so we have some issues in our timeout option that we defined in here. Config video.timeout. Okay, this should not be video, but this should be auto editor dot timeout. Let's save that, and I'll just remove this failed jobs record and then go ahead and define a new command again. Okay, we have saved the file auto editor dot timeout. This should not be timeouts but timeout, and let's try it once again. Artisan, okay, not queue work but artisan video edit single video, and I want to edit this 2023 927. And now let's go ahead and run the artisan queue work and processing jobs. Okay, it is not actually processing the video that we have. Okay, it's processing that in here, so I forgot to remove that, and I'm not really sure what's the error again. Let's see the failed jobs. And okay, we need to actually restart this because to reflect the changes we need to restart that. And okay, let's try this again. I'll remove this and artisan video edit single video, path is the 2023 927 video, and artisan queue work. And now as you can see, the video was processed in 703 milliseconds. That was really quick. Let's see what video we have in here. 2023 927, sort them by modified date. And okay, this is 8.4 MBs. Let's see the video. Okay, we don't have that in here. This one was not altered. Okay, there's no any video for this one, so we probably made some mistakes in here. I'm not really sure what. Process timeout config, run auto editor, this path, we have that path, and then no open. Let's see the database. We don't have any jobs in here, and we also don't have any jobs in here as well, so I'm not really sure what's going on in here. 2023 927, let's see. Okay, what I will do is I will pass this filament course intro video, and I'll remove this from here and try to process this once again. I'll abort this edit video command and make a new video, process a new video, filament course intro. Okay, and then artisan queue work. It is now running the command. Okay, so while this is processing, let's go ahead and make a few changes. I noticed a spelling mistake in here. And okay, so let's look into the edit video command and folder containing, okay, where's that? Yep, that's here. And I also want to remove this, and later we'll add the option to process multiple videos, and based on that we will process or show different commands based on the user input. So we'll be doing that as well. And let's look into our command. Okay, this is still processing, so I'll be right back once this is finished processing. Okay, seems like the process executed successfully. It took 3 minutes to process that. And if we go ahead and look into our files, then we have this filament, okay, filaments course intro, and as you can see in here, this is the altered version of this video, and this seems to work fine. So yeah, this thing is now working properly, and we have defined a working version to process single video, and we'll add a functionality to process multiple videos. So yeah, we'll be doing that in the next video. Okay, in this video we'll be working on adding a feature to process multiple videos inside a folder. And the reason why we processed the single video is because I wanted to show you the options that we can implement based on the user selected value. So yeah, we could basically implement a feature to only process multiple videos inside a folder, because single videos is supported by the auto editor command tool. But I wanted to implement the single video as well, because based on the user selected value that we have in here, we could define the workflow for our command line accordingly. So I want to show you that. So we'll start with this label thing first, because based on the option selected by the user, I want to update this label accordingly. So if the type is single video, then what I want to do is I want to pass the enter the path to the single video. Otherwise, I want to ask the user to enter the path to the folder of videos, enter the path to the folder containing multiple videos, and this would be populated based on this option selected by the user. And for the videos or directories, we can basically do the same. So if the type is single videos, then we want to grab the directories, so we can basically do that. And okay, what we can do here is, if the type is single video, then we want to collect these, otherwise we want to define a empty array to this. And okay, maybe what we can do is, in this check itself, we can populate this variable. But yeah, let's go ahead and define a new variable called directories. And if the type is folder of videos, then we want to get all of the directories. And okay, let's not do this, but implement this ourselves. If the type is folder of videos, then we want to grab the directories. And okay, let's do one thing. We don't need this filter functionality, so I'll just remove this part and also remove this filter. And I want to collect the common storage and then grab all of the directories and convert that to an array. So let's go ahead and dd the directories. Let's run the artisan video edit command. If I select folder of videos, then as you can see, we have these folders in our default path. So we can basically populate that in here accordingly. Okay, so what we can now do is basically make this options dynamic. So if the type is single video, then the options is going to be videos, and if the type is folder of videos, then the option is going to be the directories. Okay, let's check this. We'll just dd some random stuff in here because I don't want to dispatch this job. Let's look into this artisan video edit. And yeah, there's one more thing that I want to mention here. If the terminal height is not large enough, then this will throw this error, so keep that in mind. And if I run that again, then this will work. Folder of videos, and now as you can see, we get these options in here. So these are all the folders that we have in our default path. So yeah, this thing is now working fine. Okay, let's control C that, cancel that. And now what do we want to do? If the option is folder of videos, then we want to grab all the videos from that specific folder and basically dispatch a job for each video inside that folder. So that is really simple as well. We can do that just like we have done that for the default path. So yeah, we'll grab the videos. So I'll just copy this command. So if the user selects the single video option, then we'll dispatch the job and basically abort the command. So let's add that check in here. If the type is single video, then we want to dispatch this job and return. And if we are at this point, then this means that the user has selected the folder of videos option. So we can basically grab the videos and we can remove this check from here. Let's also remove this code and collect the common files, but we don't want to collect it from the default path, but the input that the user enters in here. So yeah, we can pass that input in here, and we want to filter the video and we want to omit the video that ends with altered, and finally convert that to an array. So let's go ahead and dd the videos that we get in here, and this should be DEOS. Let's save that. And okay, let's see, we have this new folder and we have all of these. Let's see, custom breeze. Okay, let's see, on the custom breeze we have all of these folders with the altered values as well. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Artisan video edit, hit enter, and folder of videos, enter the path. I want to pass this custom breeze folder, and okay, inside that we have custom breeze / add forgot password view, finalize password confirm flow. So yeah, this seems to work since we are grabbing all the videos from here. Inside custom breeze we are getting these, and we are omitting the altered videos that are already processed. And I guess I have a better way to do this. So let's remove this whole part and let's grab the full path to the videos. So we can do that by passing in the config and then the input that the user entered. And we'll be using the scan directory method by PHP. So the videos are going to be inside this directory, which is the full path that we have in here. And once we grab the videos, what I also want to do is I want to notify the user that these following videos will be edited with this info and implode the files that we have in our videos variable. And for each of these videos, I want to dispatch a job. So I'll just go ahead and paste the command. So for each videos as video, okay, so we are checking this condition in here. So yeah, this looks good. We have removed that check already. So for each video, what I want to do is if the video does not end with mkv, or if it contains this altered value, then I want to continue to the next loop. And if this condition is not satisfied, then a job will be dispatched with the full path and the video that we are currently processing. And finally, I want to return from this command. Okay, let's save that, and this flow looks good. So I want to test this out, and since this video is getting a bit lengthy and we have covered most of the stuff already, so this could be a bit confusing to you, so I'll still explain to you what this does. And we have covered this already. We have done all of these stuff already. So what we are doing is we are grabbing the full path to the input that the user enters. So let's say if I type artisan video edit, folder of videos, and so let's say we have this building a custom component. When I click enter, then the input in this case is going to be the building a custom component, and we want to grab all of the videos from this full path. So in this case, building a custom component. So I want to basically scan this directory and then notify the user that these are the videos that will be processed. And this is not actually accurate because we are basically omitting these two values. So I think what we can do is we can notify the user here editing video. Instead of editing, we can actually write added dash video to the queue for processing, and this is a bit more accurate. So, and basically this will dispatch the job, and this in turn will process that video. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a try, and maybe I will try to cancel this and run this again. Artisan video edit. I want to edit a folder of videos, folder containing videos, and let's say I want to edit this custom breeze, and we have some errors in here. Okay, scan directory custom breeze, and I made that mistake again. I basically copy pasted but forgot to make the change in here. So this should be auto editor dot video path and then the input. So let's give this one last try. Artisan video edit, folder of videos, custom breeze, and now as you can see, added these videos to the queue for processing. Okay, let's go ahead and check out our database now. And if you go ahead and look into the jobs, then we have these jobs that are ready for processing. And I think we have our queue work already running. So this thing is now processing these videos one by one. So yeah, this thing is now working fine, and I don't want to process this video because I already have done that. And this workflow is now working fine. So I hope that this was helpful to you, and this triggered you some ideas to work on some stuff to automate some repetitive process that you have, and working with Laravel with Laravel prompts and these command line tools is really easy and interesting. So yeah, I hope that this video was helpful, and I have been using this application for processing my own videos, and I thought of creating a video about it since this could be helpful. And if this video was helpful, then make sure to check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel, since I have some plans to upload a lot of videos like these in the future. And also check out my Udemy courses. I have around 3 courses in there. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.